Good morning, Edward Kelly here, your bankruptcy attorney with another 3 minutes to financial freedom, talking about bankruptcy. Today we're going to dive deeper into Chapter 7. We'll do that for the next couple of videos, and then we'll dive deeper into Chapter 13. So, Chapter 7, let's talk today about exempt property. This is, there's really two sides of the equation to a Chapter 7 that you're going to want to consider. A, do I get to keep my stuff? And B, will my debts be taken care of in this bankruptcy? So today we'll look at, do I get to keep my stuff? Tomorrow we'll look at, will my debts be taken care of? So what you want is all of your property to be exempt. The good news is most of your household stuff, your TVs and couches and bedroom furniture and kitchen pots and pans and dressers, all your stuff is not going to be taken. Now you may have a rental agreement if you've got a rent-to-own Aaron's or one of those companies. Can be different. That's a secured debt, so that stuff you may need to keep those debts if you want to keep the stuff. Sometimes you can throw the debt in and they just ignore it and they don't want it anyway. But a lot of times you would have to what do we call reaffirm that debt, and we'll talk about reaffirmations in another video if you want to keep the stuff. But your normal furniture, usually you don't owe on that. Your TVs, your I was going to say VCRs, that dated me. Your Rokus and Amazon Fire Sticks, they're not going to take that. Your vehicles, so you're exempt per person, and I'm talking about a married couple. You can file bankruptcy together as a married couple in one case. If you're not married, you have to file two separate cases. But for a married couple, each spouse can have a vehicle worth up to $7,500. Now, what that means is if it's paid off, it needs to be worth $7,500 or less. You blue book it and make sure you are not hurting yourself with the condition. If it's fair, put fair, because there's a huge difference between fair, good, and excellent on blue booking. However, if you have a loan on it, remember to subtract the loan remaining in total from the value. For example, if you have a car worth $10,000 and you owe $8,000 on it, pretty quick math, if you were to pay it off, you'd have $2,000 left over. So your equity in the vehicle, that's the magic language, is $2,000, well under the cutoff of $7,500. So that's how you calculate that. You can't carry over. For example, if one spouse only uses $2,000, they can't give their remaining $5,500 to the other spouse and let them have a car worth more than $7,500. It just applies to each person. And of course, if you're a single person filing bankruptcy, you just get the one for $7,500. The homestead exemption, this is referring to your house. As long as you live in it, you have to live in it. It's pretty much protected. Up to an acre within a city limits, and up to many acres, more than most people would have outside of city limits. So that can become important if you have more than an acre lot in the city. Otherwise, we have a very high homestead exemption, as good as almost anywhere except Florida. So this is a great place for that. So again, if you live in your home, and it's your residence, then it's pretty much going to be protected. So things to look out for: boats, RVs, four-wheelers, campers, trailers. Unless it's an integral part of your work, probably not exempt, probably going to lose it. But again, a lot of people might be worried. If you owe more on your boat than it's worth, obviously they're not going to take it. It's going to be up to you. Now, they're not going to give you credit for that expense of that boat, because that's a luxury item. But if you want to keep it and you can make it work, you can certainly do that. The trustee is only interested in taking assets from you that can be liquidated. That's why we call it a liquidation, and then paid out to your creditors. So that's the basics of can I keep my stuff in a Chapter 7. Tomorrow we'll take a look at, will I get rid of these debts? Until then, this is your bankruptcy attorney, Edward Kelly. As always, you can reach me at edwardkellylawoffice@gmail.com. That's KELLEY, lawoffice@gmail.com, or at 580-478-3130. Talk to you soon.